injustice, rage, and selfishness. I have seen these three themes coming everywhere in my life in the past week. I have seen it in the geopolitical analysis, in the astrology, in the traffic in my YouTube channel, in personal conversations, in my own life. There is a lot of rage in all of us because there is massive injustice. And most importantly, we are becoming aware of the injustice. And we're allowing ourselves to be furious about the injustices. But hey, is that the best way to go about it? I will tell you exactly no. Because you know it. An eye for an eye will make the entire world blind. We need a different strategy. I have made a video that's about Lilith, the mother of all witches. The representation of the archetype of rage and abandonment and injustice that lives within us. It lives within all of us, but especially women. Women, we feel rejected by society, by our families, by our fathers, by our mothers, particularly when we express what we want. But we have repressed it. No, I'm a good girl. If I cannot get that gift, that's okay. And I repress it and I repress it. And I have been repressing it every single day of my life, 5 times a day for 365 days for 55 years. Multiplied by all the women that live within me. Just make that number. There's a lot of rage. A lot of rage. No wonder Karens live in our day and age. They complain and they just burst in anger out of nothing. Whining women, all of us who live in this day and age. Can we live in a different way? Of course we can. Of course we can, but how? The secret is to bring back our dear Carl Jung and his wisdom. And that is, simply said, befriend, own your own shadow. Specifically this shadow which is Lilith, rage, anger, selfishness. How do you do that? The first step is to set an intention. It is my intention to befriend Lilith. She has been rejected by everybody. I will invite her to the party. I will listen to her. What happens when you bring back to your life those parts of your psyche that have been hidden really far away in a corner of your psyche? You become more powerful. You go from being a 2D drawing of yourself to becoming a 3D version of you. You become more profound, you become wiser. And specifically, on the case of Lilith, you become more powerful. Because that rage is transmuted into wisdom, into actually advocating for yourself, asking for what you deserve, asking for that rage, a Freudian slip, asking for that raise, for that promotion, for that very pricing, asking for what you want, becoming a true leader, not just the carpet that everybody walks on. So befriend your Lilith. Set the intention to befriend her. So what are we going to do after setting that intention? Is notice, is awareness. Become aware of when you have a hint of something that you wouldn't be angry about, but you don't like. Just develop a radar of things that you don't like. Notice. And as you notice, move to the next step and wonder what you could do about it. Can you change it? Can you actually do something about it? Don't keep that piece of furniture in the place where you always hit yourself on the hip. Move it. Don't keep that procedure in your company that keeps making the end of the month a disaster. Change it. That is if you can change it. If it depends on somebody else, can you negotiate that? Can you modify it? And the third one that might be even more tricky. Can you accept it? Can you accept it and really let go? The first ones are easy. No? There's a table there is a process there, you change it. You cannot move it, you ask for help. You really cannot change it. Recently I was in a lot of rage because my reality is not like my dream that I had when I was 10. When I was 10, I was dreaming that I will live in Mexico forever and marry this Mexican guy and live in this neighborhood in Mexico. And I'm not in Mexico, I am in the Netherlands, I have a Dutch husband, and I was in rage. How could I just leave what I didn't leave? So the procedure in this case, when you are angry for the reality that you are living now versus the reality that you could have lived and dreamed about, is to open your eyes and look at what is. Just look at what is. So I look at my husband, how he is. He's great. He's better than my dream. He's more compassionate, funnier. He is sweeter than the man that I dreamed that I wanted. Maybe, the weather is better in Mexico. But I love Amsterdam. It's a wonderful city. I have so beautiful friends here. So when you are angry about the dream that never came true and will never be able, never in a million years will come true, the only way you have is to fall in love with the present moment exactly where you are. Exactly how you are. I never dreamt it, but let's suppose I dreamt to be tall and blonde. I never. I am really petite and brunette. Yeah. Come back to the reality. I am so blessed. I have my 2 feet and my 2 arms and my 2 legs, and I am alive. I am alive. My liver works, my kidney works. This is fantastic. This is great. As you repeat this exercise every time that it comes, it will lose power every single time that the irrational belief comes back. And you can do it as a conversation with Lilith. Lilith, why do you feel so bad? Why do you feel so rejected? Is it because that day that my mother told us blah, blah, blah? Is it that day because we were bullied? Is it that other day? And imagine that you give Lilith a hug. Imagine that you bring her to your living room and talk to her, have a cup of tea, hug her, create a relationship with her. She will feel less rejected. And as she feels less rejected, you will feel less rejected. You will both feel more loved. And as you feel more love for yourself as the archetype and yourself as the real woman, this is going to vibe. This is going to change everything around you. But indeed, this brings back to the first word that I mentioned, selfishness. This is labeled by society as selfish. But it is my contention that selfishness might be the most charitable thing that you could do. Could be. So if you selfishly make sure that you have a wonderful relationship with your husband, if you selfishly make sure that you create beautiful, whatever work that you do, or you sculpture, a beautiful sculpture, you are an, AI engineer, make a beautiful AI model, whatever what you do, that you do it to the ultimate quality motherhood, the ultimate quality, whatever is what you do. That selfishness, you take it to the extreme of beauty, of service to your dream future. You are serving the others. You are serving your family and all your descendants. And as you are serving your family and all your descendants, you are serving humanity. The selfishness that's so extreme, because to be really selfish, you are loving your community, your tribe, and the future. To assure your happiness, your wealth, your health, you have to consider that you are a social being. That's why it's charitable. So be selfish in this way, in the way that you feel accepted, even with your shadows, even with your Lilith. I hope this has helped you. I wish you all much love. Please share it, please like it, subscribe. And if you haven't watched Lilith, I leave her here for you. I wish you a wonderful week. I see you next week.